20. We've got left arm spin. Darren, you still feel, though, that up front it's worth taking it on?
Yeah, playing as you see it. You can't box yourself into a hole and say, listen, I'm going to put more focus on conserving my wicket. The ball is new. It will come on to the bat. I also feel you need to still try and look for boundaries in the power play with the fielding restrictions. You get the innings off to a jump start. You make it a lot easier for the batsman in the middle phase of the innings. As the ball gets older, it will offer more for the spinners. Make hay while the sun shines, as they say.
What we didn't see a little bit earlier in the game, earlier on, between with the Jaffna Kings, was we didn't see any urgency in the running between the wickets. We saw balls hit out to the sweepers, batters just trotting for a single. High into the air, keeper says, it's mine, and takes the catch, an early wicket.
Great start for the Kandy Warriors. Ashan Priyanjan has been a consistent player. He's batted in the middle order, but he's been given a different role. Just you're speaking about making use of that power play, and that's exactly what he was trying to do. But look where that ball was. He was turning, he was playing against the turn. So that risk factor and the top edge. Yeah, huge scalp. Huge scalp. Always good to set the tone early as a fielding side.
Should have been going over cover, not hitting across the line. He goes without scoring, pays a heavy price. 1 for 1.
Here's some quality. Dhananjaya De Silva dealing with a turning pitch and 2 slips. In the air, but it's gone fine. This should run down the hill and away for 4.
It's tricky, but still he's off the mark. Driving hard outside the off stump. One thing is he was not hitting against the turn. Gave him that opportunity. Even if he edged it, it was going to fall safe just like that. Large gap on the offside.
That's what you call playing the percentage, reducing the risk of getting out.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Goodness me, this could be test match cricket. Why is everyone not wearing white? Why are they wearing colours?
First we get a ball hitting across the line without having a real look at the conditions.
Big turn in the first over, 5 for 1.
Feel the spark again in our powerful.
Back in the side, Siku gave Prasanna after his heroics a few nights ago. 32 in just 6 deliveries. Different circumstances here, different set of skills required as a batter. And the Warriors winning the toss and electing to field in a game that they have to win if they want to make the journey to Hambantota.
Well, if I was Angelo Matthews, I'll be telling Dhananjaya De Silva, listen, give me a solid test match innings in these conditions. He's a fine test player. He averages just shy of 40, 800s. And he strikes at about 60 in test match cricket.
Good fielding, good running.
By no means I'm asking him to strike at about 50, 60. Just give himself a chance to get in. Dhananjaya De Silva. If he can score on a ball, that would be ideal.
We had a little bit of rain earlier on, and I think most of the batters were hoping it would be a little bit more and that the surface would get some moisture on it and the ball would skip through. All indications of that first over is that they haven't got their wish. The ball is turning. But Darren, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Someone needs to play a proper innings. Over long on and away for 4.
He's got other ideas. That presented an opportunity. Mid on inside the circle, the off spinner coming on. That becomes an easy option. That's good batting.
Thinking cap on. Straight away he recognizes that this ball is turning into him. It's there for the taking and he goes for it. Exactly what's required when batting on this surface. Pitch number 8. Not many have succeeded in these conditions. Separate yourself, Dhananjaya De Silva.
The only real threat for him playing that shot is the deep mid-wicket. He just doesn't want to drag it to the deep mid-wicket. He'll be aiming over the umpire's head to drag it over mid-on.
If you look at the spinners in the Kandy side, Lanka will be considered the weak link, the only off spinner. Of course, there is the medium pace bowler, Asela Gunaratna, who could bowl some off cutters. Oh, Apesh! Oh, what happened there? Mid-off was a little bit slow. Maybe a little bit more athletic fielder could have got to it. Let's see.
Just slow off the mark, Keno Lewis. We've seen him behind the stumps wearing the gloves. And there's protection out there. That is the deep mid-wicket. So we'll just give away one. It will end the second over. A slightly more profitable one. 6 coming from it. 11 for 1. Naveen, right at the bottom of screen, he will bowl plenty of cutters. Jameer has been tested. We know he's got pace, but he's had to develop other skills. They've got some power. They've got some power, the Colombo Stars. They've got Bantam, they've got Matthews, they've got Chandimal. What they need is a base to work from.
On the point you made about the importance of Dhananjaya De Silva's innings, and you spoke about those power hitters, people like Angelo Matthews in particular, I think will back down the order, maybe number 5 or 6. Let's wait and see. But then that will allow him to play a few shots, because that has been his game. He has been a finisher, Angelo Matthews, who would come in for the last 5 or 6 overs and play those big shots.
4. Placement.
And it's the right batsman to be facing Vim Maktoum, because the ball will be turning in, and if it doesn't turn in, it offers width through the offside. Yeah, he's so strong offside. Kusal Pereira hasn't been amongst the runs. Today might just be the day where he comes big for his team. He is a fine player.
You mentioned that form, 8, 20, 0, 5, 2. He's too good a player to keep failing. And what it does require is that lining up to try and find a boundary. Yes, boundary is the optimum, that's what you want. But if it's not there, can I knock it away and get a single, or maybe find a gap and get a 2?
And when you get a boundary in the first 3 deliveries, it's very easy for you to turn the strike over and get close to 10 runs per over in the over. So, still depth in this Colombo Stars team.
Straight up in the air again. This will take some catching. Spilled it.
How vital will that be? He did well to run back, but it's not an easy catch. Falling over your shoulder. Lewis wasn't quick enough at mid-off. Dhananjay De Silva going for that slog sweep.
Yeah, and again, hitting across the turn for the second time. That should be a lesson for these two at the crease and for the others to come. Maybe being enticed by the short square boundary.
That's better. That's better, using the depth of the crease.
Starting to enjoy himself. He's been missed once. And now playing it with very soft hands, playing it late. Behind point, just waiting for the ball, and then, yeah, running it behind point. Great skill by Dhananjay De Silva.
And smarts as well. Played through the offside, focus on hitting with the turn. It's a slow surface, there's a little bit of grip, a little bit of extra bounce. As you saw with that chance, he was hitting under the bounce. Nice shot of the moon. A wonderful Friday night here in Colombo.
Pushed back. 3 gone. An expensive over. 12 from it. 23 for 1. They've got a little start here. A little start in the context of the game. We talk about the surface. 23 for 1 of 3 is a good start. In the previous game, both teams, nearly half the amount of balls they faced were dots. One of these teams will not have the opportunity to win that. One of them will be finishing their tournament tonight. So there is pressure, heaps of it. Shiraz Ahmed from the UAE has bowled well, an economy of just over 7. That's useful.
Spoke about the importance of this game for both sides. It's a straight case of win and go through to the playoffs. Must admit at the toss, both captains were quite relaxed. That's a chance, going a begging. Shiraz Ahmed will want to make amends. Popped up and then floored.
No, I just felt he got his hands up a little late. That'll be a wide when you don't need those.
Yeah, you spoke about how important this game is, and it's a perfect finish to this first round. That this is a must-win game for either eliminators. To the last year, if you look at the last year's LPL, they had an absolutely fantastic start where the first game went into the super over that set the tone, excited people. There was so much of interest.
If one of them flies like the Red Bull, surely there won't be a super over. There will be a clear winner, as we expect, unless Roshan wants to do overtime.
That's not what I meant. What I meant was it's good to have games that are important to the league, important to the teams, because you might have a situation where games might be meaningless.
Well, this is not. And that is spanked away for 4.
that's why they rate this guy so highly. Kusal Pereira loves pace on. He will dart on this any day. Short, stood up, just smacked through the mid-wicket region.
You know, you speak about matchups. Oh, is that Joaquin Phoenix, or is it Jack Nicholson, or is it Heath Ledger? Which one's playing the Joker this evening? And again, this time, all the way.
Just don't bowl at that pace. It's far too short. And that's friendly for Kusal Pereira, who loves pace. He might struggle against spin, but not against pace, and particularly at the top with the field restrictions on.
Darren, you've spoken about matchups over the course of this tournament. Kusal Pereira has only faced 6 deliveries all tournament from pace. He's been dismissed 4 times in 31 deliveries from spin. Have they got this matchup correct?
The longer he stays, it will put pressure on Angelo Pereira and his bowling options. Exactly what we've been talking about. He hasn't really fired in the tournament. Highest score previous to this, 20 against the Dambulla Giants. That was quite early in the tournament. Is he finding form at the right time for the Stars?
Well, he will if he keeps whacking it in at him. Pace taken off and away. There's no third man. It's a huge over. 17 from it. 40 for 1.
Best score in the tournament. It's looking ominous for the Kandy Warriors. Kusal Pereira, who struggled, never looked fluent throughout this second edition of the Lanka Premier League, but today he's looked different. He's been given the pace that he loves to have, and he's enjoyed it.
Most companies like to see their profit go in that direction. The Stars, 40 for 1. 10 and over. I don't think we touched 10 and over at all in the previous encounter. Big over, 4 through square leg, 6 over mid-wicket, and then 1 over third man. Now spin comes back on. Mindo Mendes. Now here's going to be a discussion. Left arm spin to the right-hander. What do you make of this? We've seen 2 ambidextrous bowlers bowl the ball away from the right-handers. This is the final ball of the previous over, just squirting over a vacant third man. An inside edge. It'll bring 2. So Darren, we see left arm spinners bowling to the right-handers and then off spinners bowling to the left-handers.
Yeah, we've mentioned that there should be a little more parity in how they use, not only to take the ball away from batsmen. I can understand why he's turning the ball away from Dhananjaya De Silva, because he'll be hitting to the short square boundary if he goes off break to him. So take the ball away, invite him to hit across the line.
That was a big shot. It didn't look right, but it was a confident shot. Just a little discussion. No. Not even entertaining it, just organising his field.
Again, the ball that arms into the right-hander, always a difficult delivery to negotiate. Looked like there was no bat on it. Would have been a good review. But the opportunity wasn't reviewed by Angelo Pereira.
There's the off spin now to the left-hander. And he's now going to look to go towards the short side.
I think we have two off spinners in the side. We're talking about a solitary one. He could bowl off spin too, ambidextrous.
Rather him bowl turning into Kusal Pereira. And this is where I think Dhananjaya de Silva has got his approach all mixed up. He's not really a power player. He has to play to his strengths. He's losing his shape, searching for power. Bottom hand coming off the bat. Not exactly what's required from him in this Colombo Stars team.
He's just looped that over mid-on, and that'll go for 4. He's leading a charmed life, but it's coming off. 5 gone, 48 for.
And our powerful.
That's why this game is so important. Jaffna Kings, Gaul Gladiators, Dambulla Giants already through to the playoffs. The winner of this game will join them. Big LBW shout in the previous over. Mindy Mendes to Dhananjaya de Silva, who's given us runs this. Yeah, very close. Umpire's call. Just clipping the leg stump, but given not out by the standing umpire, so wouldn't have been overturned. But Amir, it's been a really entertaining start to this innings. It looks like Colombo want to fight fire with fire here.
Yeah, both these batters, they are setting the tone of the game in the favor of their side. Yeah, usage of the feet. That's the right thing to do. We didn't see any batter using feet in the previous game. You know, if you want to throw the bowler off their dangerous line and length, that's what you have to do as a batter. Use your feet. Bowling change. Al-Amin Hussain from Bangladesh. He's been entrusted by the captain to bowl the last over of the power play.
The last over we've seen went for 17 from Shiraz. Same end. Kusal Pereira likes pace on the ball. What can they get from this last over?
Change of tactics. It is evident that Angelo Matthews is going to be the finisher that the Colombo Stars have been craving for. The biggest question is how fit he is to run around. That's where the Colombo Stars would be a bit worried about. But saying that, Kusal Pereira, man out of form for a little while, but important game comes, a crunch game comes, the experiences, the ability to take off any bowler. I just felt tactically the Colombo Stars have got a very good decision done, but just worried about Angelo Matthews running around.
That's very pretty. Delicate. Just using the length on that occasion, waited on the delivery. Covered the line and then opening the face of the bat to get that placement.
You said it there, Amir. Waited on the delivery. 122 Ks. That's a really nice shot, that. 50 up for the Stars. And the power plays have been their problem because they've been losing wickets at the moment. Crucially, have only lost just 1 and are scoring quickly, almost 10 and over. Another nice shot from Dhananjaya de Silva. He just guided that into the gap, used the pace.
Is that the right length, Maha? Is that the right length?
When you slow the pitcher, you got to pitch it up. This is not the length. This is not the length. Even the previous delivery can be really, really critical. The slow ball got to be much more fuller. The class of Dhananjaya de Silva, who loves to play in the back foot, will thrive on these lengths. I just feel Al-Amin Hussain hasn't started well, especially the line's been well, but the length's got to be much more fuller than that.
Much better delivery. pocket of a bit of movement in the air as well. Yeah, that's what we have seen with Dhananjaya. Just staying on the leg stump, looking for the room outside the off stump. He's been creating his own lines and lengths. Dhananjaya, up again. All-rounder from yesteryears. Off spinner and left-handed batsman.
Well, this is already Colombo's best power play. 58 for one ball to go. Dhananjaya striking at 165, Kusal Pereira 171. From Dhananjaya's point of view, when he's not trying to overhit the ball, and he's just played proper cricket shots, he's looked a lot more comfortable, a lot better.
Straight away, look at the last two deliveries. Fuller length, batsmen are not comfortable as they were when they were shorter. That's where I think the Kandy Warriors got to be much more fuller.
Might think of two here. Yeah. That barely made the outer inner ring rather, and they came back for two. So it's a good power play. 60 for one. And it's going to be a strategic timeout called by Lyndon Hannibal. And over so far for the Colombo Stars. Kusal Pereira 26 off 15, Dhananjaya 33 off 20. Power to come to Tom Banton, Angelo Matthews, Sikuge Prasanna, Dinesh Chandimal, all itching to get out there. Here's Sachindu Colombage back in the side, one of the key spinners in this Kandy Warriors squad. And there's spin for him.
And plenty of grip. Yeah, both these batsmen, they have to be wary of the fact that this young man in the picture, Colombo, has the knack of picking up wickets with ordinary deliveries.
It's not a bad knack to have. We've seen that a few times. Long hops getting pulled straight to man. That's bad fielding Bad throw initially, and then Colombo couldn't gather. There was an overthrow.
Sloppy, to say the least. Asela Gunratna to initially. And then the backing up fielder looks like Ravi Bopara. Not a good throw. Not a directed neither to the bowler, Ravi Bopara. It's found water as well. Not a good start by the Warriors.
Costa hit straight and hard for one.
He's bowled good length so far in this over. 3 deliveries and he has bowled. He has looked to pitch the ball up, giving himself chances to pick up a wicket. Looks a different player, Kusal Pereira, doesn't he? If you have a look at his shoulders, more relaxed. Got a firm grip on the bat. That's what happens to you as a batsman when you start to play stroke like these.
When he's in form, we all know how brutal he could be. And Sachin Colombo have done this mistake over and over again, especially against left-handers. Trying to bowl quicker, more of the time he's going to be short, and Kusal Pereira thrives on anything short. Not a big man, short made, loves to keep low. And there's a huge gap between deep mid-wicket and long on with a vacant short mid-wicket. So the line and the length is going to be very, very key for Sachin Colombo bowling from the press box in.
Clever gets off strike the next ball.
Yeah, he's playing the ball late, allowing the ball to come close to him. Have a look. It wasn't a full-blooded pull shot. That's why he was able to hit the ball into the gap between long on and mid-wicket. Sanitization is necessary nowadays in these unusual times. As another boundary has been scored. After 7, it's 72 for 1.
That's a good over for the Stars. Sachin Colombo put under pressure in the first over, getting 10 runs. The Stars, the 2 experienced men. Janit Pereira, Dhananjay De Silva, putting the young man. Tough times. It's important that the Kandy Warriors stay together, gel together. Seems like they just panicked a little bit with the start what the Warriors had. It's important to keep those nerves in check. Make sure they chase down a substantial score. Anything more than 160 will even harder under pressure.
Colombo Stars have scored consistently in this innings. Lowest score in an over, just 5. And some big ones in there as well. 4 overs, 12 or more. So they carry on at this run rate, they're going to score over 200, which on this pitch you would think would be a humongous score. But they're going to have to go some to get there. Final ball of the last over. Arguably the shot of the day so far from Dhananjay De Silva. Controlled, opened up and went over cover. Just checked his shot too. That is gorgeous. He's one of the best cover drivers around, actually. Beautiful cover drive that he has. Now, Ravi Bopara is going to bowl for the first time in this tournament. A bit of a surprise we've not seen him before, because he's taken 243 wickets at an economy of 7.5 in his career, a long career. Doesn't start well though. Picked off by Kusal Pereira.
He was hoping for that lead. Seam up, shot delivery. Got what it deserved. He's in a belligerent mood, isn't he?
Bread and butter for Kusal Janit Pereira. Anything short, especially the pace Ravi Bopara bowls in. It's asking for trouble. Looks like the Kandy Warriors wheels are coming off. So many bad deliveries, and their fielders changing every ball.
There, pace off from Bapara. He'll do that a lot of back of the hand slower balls, off cutters. He's got good disguise. That's what he needs to do, not be predictable. If he is predictable, he's going to be feasted on by Kusal Pereira. He's already feasted on a few Munchie Kome rice crackers, I'm sure. Plenty of them over by the players, plenty of them up here as well. Big thanks to CBL Munchie. Another back of the hand slow ball, I think.
Now that's where Kusal Pereira has been very impressive. He's been very severe on those short pitch deliveries, but whenever the bowlers have looked to pitch the ball up to him, he has shown respect. That's why he's making a move. 36 from just 20 deliveries. That's good going.
Pace off at the moment. I think Ravi was disturbed by that first pace on delivery that went for 4. Decided just to take all of the air out of the ball. 97 Ks, that.
The length. That's where it should be. Anything short or anything full in this pitch, we have seen even in the previous game. No matter of fact, the entire LPL, length has been real key. Anything short for Kusal Janit Pereira, he's going to hammer you all night.
Bapara has only bowled 5 overs in his last 18 T20 matches. So he's a little bit rusty, or it would be understandable if he would be a little bit rusty. More of a batsman these days.
Yeah, he's been underused. With 7.5 the economy rate, more than 200 wickets in this format. He should be used often than not.
It's a good finish to the over by Bapara after going for 4 on the first delivery. 8 taken from it. 10 and over, 80 for 1 after 8 overs.
This is a very good start by the Colombo Stars after losing the first wicket in the first over itself. Ashan Priyanjana going for a slog sweep, top edging. Mahesh Vimukti caught by Minod Banuka. So far, Dhananjay De Silva has been real solid. And Kusal Janit Pereira, as you all know, brutal on his day. He has chosen to be today his important crunch game against the Warriors.
Colombo Stars heading for a big score at the moment. The Mukti back into the attack. It's a good start, Amir, but that's where sides have fallen down in this tournament, the middle overs.
Yeah, they've got to be careful. And that is the reason why the Mukti has been brought back into the attack to break this partnership, which is threatening now. Oh, stumped. He has certainly obliged the captain once again. Vimukti.
Oh, what a fantastic delivery. A dream delivery for a left-arm spinner. Curving in, pitching middle stump, and turning square, and beating a top-class batter like Dhananjay De Silva. It had to be a brilliant delivery by this young man, Vimukti. As Amir mentioned, was brought in to do a job, to break this partnership. Exactly what the young man did. Having a look, not too sure what they're looking for. Delivery, pitching a middle stump. Trying to go towards vacant mid-wicket for a single. And Minod Banuka doing the rest of the work. It's great stuff by the young man. And the Warriors much needed breakthrough. Dhananjay De Silva gone for 40 off 28. Stars 80 for 2.
Tom Banton coming in at number 4 again for the Colombo Stars. He has a very good record in T20, 200, strike rate just under 150, but he's not had a good tournament so far. This was a brilliant bit of bowling from Nimesh Vimukti. Completely deceived a set batsman who was playing well. It was reviewed by the umpires. Oh, what a Jaffa! Get that first up.
Oh, my word. That was precariously close to the off stump. The angle he's creating, going wide of the crease, a bit of loop, squaring the batsman, getting the turn. Oh, fielding has been good too, apart from that drop catch.
Tom Banton being adventurous. Rightly so. To get the scoreboard moving, and the cow point fielder Mohammad Shiraz, the fast bowler. It's a good effort to make up for the drop catch earlier of the De Silva, at that time saving 3 runs for the Warriors.
Tom Banton looks like he's had a red ball after playing that shot. Second delivery. Dragged down by Vimukti. No damage though, really, just one taken. That sums up the modern day batsman, really. Tom Banton on rips past his outside edge first ball. Second ball goes for a big hard reverse sweep.
Not a bad ploy. That's your job as a batsman. To throw away a bowler from their original liner length. Once again, very well bowled. Huge shout. Was the ball turning a lot? They're conferring with each other. Should we or should we not? He's gone for it.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. I need to check the front foot, please. Fair delivery, front on spin mission, please. Ball was close to the bat. Can I have the ultra to check whether any bat involved there, please? Satisfied, no bat involved. Fat line. Go for the ball tracker when it is ready, please. Ball tracker is coming. Pitching outside leg. Go back to on-field umpire, please.
Well, the ball is ragging square at the moment, which makes it quite difficult to get an LBW. If you're a spinner, unless one skids on to the pads. Tom Banton's faced 3 deliveries, 2 of them absolute jackers.
At the end of 9th over, 82 for 2. Another bowling change. Sri Lanka has picked up quite a few wickets in this LPL. Decent off spinner, starts off with the arm delivery.
Open the bowling, Sri Lanka. This is his second over. Oh, and it's just skidding on to Kusal Pereira. He's got to watch out here.
But this is what he does. Lower trajectory, coming low, skidding it through, not going to give any air. Kusal Pereira, it's not short at all. Slighters of mistake, very lucky there, KJP. It's interesting to see what sort of a tactic Colombo Stars going to use with Angelo Matthews, Dinesh Chandimal, Sikuya Prasanth, all these hitters coming down the order. The foundation has to be laid by these 2 batters. Why I say that, Angelo Matthews, we all know, is hampered to run. And Sikuya Prasanth and Chandimal have been in magnificent form. So where does Angelo Matthews fit in? That's a question that a lot of people want to ask.
Last 5 overs. This is not the situation for him to come out to bat, because lots of singles be required to put a decent total on the board. Looked like a bit of movement behind the side screen.
Sent back by Banton, Kusal Pereira. He was keen for a single. Another bad throw. No overthrow in this case, though. And your point, Maha, about Matthews, this is the problem with Colombo Stars. They've got a lot of openers in their side. He's one of the few guys who can bat in the middle order, but only when he's fit. Again, confusion between Banton and Kusal Pereira. Banton could be gone here. This is going upstairs.
The umpire to director, we have umpire referral for a run out.
You know, whatever the situation is, dot deliveries, they do bring pressure on the batter.
Show me one more time, please. Yes, I am satisfied. My decision to the judge.
Huge miscommunication. Let Tom Banton be run out. Lots of teams in the middle overs have choked. Is it Colombo Stars choking under pressure? Tom Banton gone for 2, Stars 84 for 3.
Good crowd in today, Friday night. A lot of Colombo Stars fans in. Still no signs of Angelo Matthews. Then it's Chandimal, the new batsman, with work to do. 10 overs, 84 for 3.
A bit of a jolt for the Stars, but they're still all right. 84 for 3 in 10. Pereira and Chandimal, the two batsmen at the wicket. Chandimal has been in very good form. Kusal Pereira just finding his feet in this tournament, hasn't been amongst the runs. Banton pretty unfortunate. That was a terrible mix-up. Not Kusal Pereira called for it. Yes, he did. And then Tom Banton, for the first time in his T20 career, he's run out. How lucky was that, Russell?
Not for the first time. Hesitation out in the middle. So now he'll have to put that behind him. That's what matters. What you do next. And that's to build a partnership with Chandimal.
This is good running, good understanding.
This is called Soul Down the River. Yes, no, oops, sorry. My apologies.
He's had a tough time, Tom Banton, trying to get amongst the runs, open the batting. They moved him now to the middle order. He really would have liked a decent hit and not get out like that. But the partnership is crucial because we've seen games change. In the middle overs, the wickets fall, and advantageous positions have been thrown away. These two take it to the 14th, 15th, get to about 110, 120. Then you launch. Take no chances.
The rate of scoring is good. Over 8 runs and over at the moment. Reverse!
6. Kusal Pereira has picked the right opportunity, the right day to strike form. It's a critical game for the Colombo Stars, and he's coming good.
What a shot this is, hitting with the spin, and the length is right for him to play it.
Now, mind you, for those who know, Kusal Pereira, till his mid-teens, was a right-hander. Modeled his game on Sanat Jayasuriya and became a left-hander. So amazing power. That initial instinct of being a right-hander would be with him.
What is more amazing is being born a right-hander and being a right-hander and become a left-hander and do what he's doing. Yeah, as a right-hander, you can understand that.
Look at those 4 rounds. There's a lot of power there.
But succeed as a left-hander, something that he's adopted at the highest level. That's an amazing thing. Running the first run hard. They're coming back for 2. This is very good running. Very, very good running. The Colombo Stars are enjoying themselves. 12 of that over. 96 for 3. Just 30 balls, 5 fours, 2 sixes. Chandimal just warming up, looking ominous for the Warriors in a must-win game. They had the opportunity, they won the toss, they decided to bowl, willing to chase a target. Just goes past the outside edge. He goes slow, medium cutters, can be useful on this track.
Hasn't found a regular spot. Dibbly dobblies, off breaks. He was brought in for the last game but didn't get to bowl or bat. But at the right time, Kusal Pereira has woken up for the Colombo Stars.
Safe, falling in no man's land. Rubber the green has been going Colombo Stars' way. Dhananjay De Silva was living dangerously. Kusal Pereira playing a few airy shots. Well, one of our proud sponsors, partners, Munchie, Sri Lanka's #1 brand of biscuits, being exported to over 65 countries. Punched. That's his 50. They'll come back for 2 again. This is brilliant running. It's a welcome half century. Welcome back to form to Kusal Pereira.
Yeah, look, the innings has been a great one. I like the shot to bring up the 50. Hitting with the spin, just a conventional shot. Finds the gap in the outfield, runs for 2. We saw so much in the previous games. Batters trying to find that short boundary over and over again and forgetting about there's other ways to score runs on a surface like this.
The ball can spin, can be slow, but you somehow have to grind your way to some runs. And as you said, find a way. That could be just kicking it to space. And a 140, 135, 140 is gettable if you're clever. That type of thought process and planning should come into your game. And we've seen enough for players to sit back and come up with that plan.
Kandy will have to bat really well. At the moment, Stars are looking good. In the 12th over, they've got the 100. They're set on scoring something big. This is good running again. Brilliant running, dropping and running, identifying the fielders. That's the key. They did see Kenna Lewis not the quickest.
Didn't hit it too hard. But then again, look at the urgency. It's only the 12th over. Why I'm highlighting that is in the previous game, the Kings were chasing. And until the 16th, 17th over, there was no intensity in the running. They were ambling through. Even earlier, that energy helps. Now more energy. Fielder in the deep. Watches it go by because it was hit that hard. 106 for 3.
For 3. Kusal Pereira is going berserk at the R. Premadasa Stadium, and those buildings are consistently coming up. Power plays were good. And those red blocks are also looking threatening. Of course, those 2 dots have stifled them a bit. Right, gentlemen, a question for both of you. In hindsight, captain had the option of winning, fielding captain had the option of batting. And seeing the surface, well, we'll watch this and then talk about it. This was that boundary. I thought was attempting a leg break, and he went with the movement.
And Pereira is in that type of form that he's picking at. These are his shots. These are his zones. He normally scores runs in.
You reckon? Should have batted first in hindsight, considering the way the surface has played? It's the question to both of you. Well, the National Lotteries Board of Sri Lanka, a state-owned enterprise and a multi-billion rupee giant, NLB contributes to the development of Sri Lanka in a greater scale and raises funds for agriculture, health, sports and other various sectors. They're a great player in the Sri Lankan economy. Right, I'm waiting for your thoughts after this ball.
I understand why he went out and fielded. Yes, straight after the toss, it started raining a little bit. I don't think the decision was influenced by the rain. I think it's a fact that the 2 games the Kandy Warriors have won was chasing. They don't have a strong bowling lineup and they've let themselves down at the depth in a few games. So I think that was the influence. Okay, this is what has worked for us. Let's contain the opposition, get our weaker suit out of the way, and then try and chase it down.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that also they would have looked at it thinking, well, if we've got to chase, we're not going to chase something big because of the surface. And we have players like Papara. This should be out, and it's the end of a very fine innings.
That's the longer side of the boundary. Charita Salanka, the fieldsman, but great relief for the Warriors. Look at the reaction.
He cracked it. And not for the first time, we see a long hop get a wicket. Caught at deep mid-wicket. Charita Salanka making no mistake this time, but he's found form at the right time for his team, Kusal Pereira. That's put them in a strong position. He's 58 of 38. They're 109 for 4, the Stars.
Paul is the new batsman. Colombo Stars have quite a few power hitters. Slip in for the right-hander. They find some grip and turn.
Here's an opportunity to get a few dots in. Pereira. Long hop is just try to keep it down by rolling his wrists. I think that's what was his downfall.
That turn square. This is what a wicket could do. 109 for 4. Quite early at the crease, 6 of 5. Paul just in. They got Matthews, they got Prasanna. Sikge turned out to be a match winner the other day in that critical game. Coming on at the other end, 109 for 4. Now they got Matthews scheduled to come in next day. There's also Prasanna. Where do you think Matthews would actually be looking to bat? Well, we'll come to that after this, because this is a very important part of the entire Lanka Premier League. Dettol, it's been a go-to brand for everybody. Spectators, umpires, players, commentators. Everybody.
In for his last over, Vimukti. Well, I prefer this batting order a lot more, because Kusal Pereira at the top of the order, we all know what he can do. Dhananjay De Silva at 3, and the fact that Chandimal has come ahead of Matthews also makes sense, because he's been in great form, and you want to give him a decent number of balls to maybe try and maximize that. We know Matthews is restricted in running between the wickets. That can have an effect on his partners. So I'm not too sure. If these two get to about the 15th, 16th, maybe even Sikge Prasanna. Play Matthews the way it comes.
Big shot coming now, boys. Big sweep shot coming now, boys. Come on.
Full toss. Oh, he's lucky. He's very lucky, Vimukti, that is. Had that been in the gap, it was 4 all over it.
The Stars they find themselves in a very good position here. 111 for 4. I don't feel that they, as Russell pointed out earlier, you don't want to be saying, well, let's go and try and get 180, and then you end up getting bowled out for 150. Is that you just play normally, keep accumulating, finding the odd boundary, and then the acceleration in the last 2 or 3 overs.
Running one, they're running hard. Will they come back for 2? They're coming back for 2. Brilliant running. In the process, look what's happened to Paul. Paul.
Yeah, they're pushing it, but a direct hit might have had Paul walking back.
Great intent, really great intent. That's the key here.
I also feel that little bit of rain we had just at the toss has spiced things up. There's a bit of moisture around the ball, sliding on a little more. Angelo Pereira has a towel with him. Vimukti has a towel with him. They're constantly drying that ball, and that's the difference. It's turned out to be a little better surface than the earlier game because of that moisture.
Well, chasing might be okay then. I think the like of Kenar Lewis, who likes to hit through the line. If there isn't any turn at the top, he could get them off to the flyer that they may need. But the first over here did turn, but as you mentioned, the ball hadn't really gone over the outfield as yet.
Yeah, get your point.
Well, Kandy will need a lot of wings when they bat facing this target, just like Red Bull. In our energy partner. Last ball of the over.
Gone. Oh! On the second attempt. Very nearly bubbling out of Angelo Pereira's hand.
The sound of that we heard was not woody for me. He asked for it straight away.
Umpire to director. We have a player review for court. Original decision is out. Give me the front foot first, please. Fair delivery. Give me the front on screen vision. It's very fair. Okay. My decision is out. Repeat, out.
I think there was a lot of wood there, Russell.
Yes, there is, but where Paul gets confused is the bat hits his boot. That's the sound we heard on the stump mic. So he wouldn't have felt it. He's gone for 114 for 5.
Right, we've been talking about at which point Angelo Matthews will enter the scene. Here he is. Best of 81, 10 half centuries. He's a great finisher, Angelo Matthews. He has been plagued a bit by injury, hasn't been figuring too much in this format. But when he did, he was an excellent finisher. The goal is medium pace. He's got wickets for Sri Lanka, won games as a bowler as well besides his batting. For number 15, it's going to be the leg spinner.
Vimukti finished with 3 for 24. Now look at what happens. That bat hits the boot and it all happens at the same time. That's where Paul wouldn't have felt the edge, because there's a bit of jarring. And also explains the noise I heard, Roshan, before you say something to me.
I know that's what you're really trying to make. It's not about proving the point that it was hitting the boot. You're just trying to justify your statement. It's well taken, don't worry.
You just wonder whether the non-strikers should have said to him, look, it's hit your outside edge. I know you may not have felt anything, but it's gone straight off the outside edge to slip. How does Angelo Pereira manage his fielders with someone who is restricted for running now, particularly inside the 30-yard circle?
Single, just a single.
Cover the angles, work the angles as much as possible rather than creeping in, because there's not going to be any drop and runs. It's more the proper shots that Angelo Matthews can play needs to be covered.
You know that Angelo Matthews is not fond of running or not able to move as swiftly as he would like.
Yeah, I'm going to watch closely here to see how this affects the way Dinesh Chandimal plays.
Yeah, the one that he'll drop, he might now try to push.
They're quite happy to take that single, just ambling across. He's So it might be, the plan will be for sixers and fours, boundaries. That will be the way Angelo Matthews will be looking to try and aim. Right, so they've got 4 singles. Stars still in a very solid position, 118 for 5, and they're into the last 5 overs of the innings.
Feel the spark again in our powerful.
The Colombo Stars got off to an absolute flyer thanks to Kusal Pereira and Dananjaya de Silva. They were 80 for 1 off 8 overs and now 118 for 5 off 15. So 38 for 4 off the last 7. But still in a strong position here, despite no boundary in the last 18 balls. They can get up to about 160, Darren. Do you feel that's still a very good score on this pitch?
They'll do well to get to that total. Must say that the Warriors, they've pulled things back nicely. Just allowing a runner ball in the last 5 overs or so, picking up 2 important wickets. The set batsmen being dismissed. Now 2 new players at the crease. Chandimal with a little start.
Hey.
Angelo Matthews, only 2 from 2.
Ball.
Windy Mendes back into the attack, the ambidextrous spinner, bowling his 3rd over. Tikuge Prasanna still to come for the Colombo Stars. They'll hope that these 2 can stick it out there for a few more overs. 8 bowlers used so far by Angelo Pereira. Vimucti, the only one who's bowled out.
That's a headache to have as a captain, I tell you that.
Ball.
A bit more round arm there, Windy Mendes. Sometimes you can have too many options.
Too many options, just as bad as not many. Oftentimes as a captain, you wondering which option to choose in circumstances. Good crowd in, nice to see. That's the spirit, that's the energy required for T20 cricket. And so far, we have a game on our hands.
We certainly do. Never really thought that the Colombo Stars were going to run away with this, despite their really good start, because it's proved to be difficult to score in the middle overs. Probably the biggest crowd that we've had so far in this tournament. Friday night, Colombo Stars playing for their lives. Absolutely perfectly set up this final game.
Friday night for sure. Something that the entire Sri Lanka look forward to, especially the guys in the bubble. Saying that, Kamida Mendis done a decent job. The question is, DG, Darren Ganga, Angelo Matthews, not so comfortable running the second one hard. Dinesh Chandimal on the other way around, loves to run for the second one. Just want to show the energy, the intent. The game plan got to be changed according to the situation and the individual who's in the middle.
Could have sent Sikuge Prasanna out ahead of Matthews, but keeper deciding that he's going to come in. He is in good form. Can hit a long ball as well, just like Prasanna. So just 5 singles off that over. 16 gone, 123 for 5.
Colombo Stars in the last 30 balls, losing 2 wickets and just scoring 27 runs. Momentum initially taken up by Kusal Janipera and Dhananjay De Silva, slightly drifting towards the Warriors. Follow wickets, one big building. The 4th over since then, it's been steady shift for the Warriors, and then suddenly all of a sudden 2 wickets have fallen on the 9th and 10th, and then the 13th and 14th, hampering their run rate. The Warriors fighting back to be in the game and try and restrict the Warriors for a substantial amount to chase down.
Mostly spin so far. Shiraz coming back on for his second over. We've seen prodigious turn as well. Bit of rain just juiced up the pitch during the toss, and then turn in the first game as well. Seam so far has been expensive. Shiraz's first over went for 17. Alamin's been expensive as well. This could
Angelo Matthews will about the momentum swings in an innings. He's just come in when his team has just lost a couple of wickets. He's got the maturity to understand that it needs to take some time to get himself set before he can really tee off. That is exactly what himself and Chandimal are setting themselves up for. What is the opportune time for us to start going big? Search for more boundaries than singles and twos.
throws his hands at that and connects, does Dinesh Chandimal.
Man in form. What a shot of extra cover. Very strong through there. And Shiraz Ahmed in the cardinal error, in so much width and the length, perfect. And the batsman is trying to hit big. Exactly what they're looking for. Put away easily by Dinesh.
He's so dangerous because he's not a one-dimensional player. Won't only look to hit a leg. If he's trying to get boundaries, goes offside. We've seen that in previous innings from Dinesh Chandimal. This might just be the boundary required to ignite the far paw, the explosion at the back end of the innings. As we did see in the first 6 overs, they went at 10 runs over. So if they get that from here on in, easily get them to that 160 marker.
Psychologically 160 in these conditions. Just feel Colombo Stars are far ahead.
Well, the reason Colombo Stars are in a good position is because Kusal Pereira made full use of the power play and beyond. Restored to the opening position. He batted at number 5 in the previous game. And he was back towards somewhere close to his best. Cutting and pulling with real power. He even played a reverse sweep. 58 of 38 balls. Performed just when they needed him. He's had a very poor tournament, but today was a different kettle of fish. That's a wide.
Rub salt into the wound. Kusal Pereira captained the Kandy franchise last year. And to play innings in that sort in a crunch game just goes to show the man's mentality, especially in the last few months. He's not been among runs even during the World Cup. This LPL got hit in the knee, couldn't play a couple of games, and coming back when it mattered the most for the Colombo Stars, the man delivers.
The lights are out. Many of them around, dotted around the stadium. Good atmosphere, and that's a good shot. He's dug out that wide Yorker, but well-positioned man on the boundary. They just changed the field, actually. Third man had come up, and they put someone out on the boundary, Gunaratne, round about sort of gully line. That's exactly where the ball went.
And if you're facing Shiraz, expect it to be full, either full, straight attacking, or full wide, no more defensive. Be prepared for that type of delivery when facing him. One thing that Angelo Matthews will know is Kenal Lewis and the power he packs in the power play. So you want to give yourself a little buffer in terms of that target score that you set for the Warriors.
They might have to bowl that one again, and Matthews has flipped it away for 4 as well. It was almost self-preservation. That was going to hit him, and it's going to be a free hit as well. This could be an expensive over.
Shiraz having a day off, a day to forget. The Bandar, easy call there. Angelo Matthews did really well to put that away for a boundary and a free hit to come. Just not what the Warriors needed, and just exactly what the Stars want.
Brilliant apology. Very good sportsmanship from Shiraz Ahmed.
All right, Maha, what are you bowling here for your Shiraz? Free hit.
2 options: slow ball outside the off stump, outside the off stump Yorker.
Went for the Yorker, didn't quite get it, but it was a low full toss that's been dragged to long on, so no real damage there. Still 1 ball left in the over, though. Could be 2 here. Will Matthews come back? Yes, he does. Throw to his end, but it's a wild throw. Gingerly gets there, and that's a good over for the Colombo Stars. 15 off it, 138 for 5 with 3 overs to go.
Full marks there for Angelo Matthews, coming back as fast as he could to be on strike. Dinesh Chandimal pushing Angelo. 100% marks with the commitment shown. Gino's gone, 138 for 5. Kusal Pereira, the firepower, 58 of 38. Dhananjay De Silva, classy knock of 40-28. Chandimal batting very nicely, setting up the last 3 overs to go big, 21 of 20. And Matthews batting well as well. And we got the man who couldn't play the last game, Sivya Prasanna, coming into this game with the form of scoring 32 of 6 deliveries. Easy game.
Three overs to come. Chandimal 21 not out and set. Matthews is getting going as well. 11 off 8, and the power of Prasanna still to come. Colombo could be on for a match-winning score here if they get it right in the last 3 overs. And if they do that, they'll be able to snack on some more Munchie Kome down in Hambantota. All the snacks will be coming with us. We'll be bringing them up to the commentary box as well, keeping them away from Roshan Abeysinga.
Well, big decisions for Angelo Pereira. Well, the bowlers will be bowling the last 3 overs. There are quite a few options. You're thinking about Amindo Mendes. Might also think about a seam option. You never know. One thing for sure, these two at the crease, Chandimal and Matthews, they'll be thinking boundaries. What's the maximum can they get from these 18 deliveries? Still Sikuge Prasanna. So his quick fire 30 in just 6 balls.
Balled away by Matthews for another boundary. It's a bad start to the over by Alamin Hossain. Seam is going the distance here.
Not the length. Again, he was critical of the first toe he bowled as well. Pitching it short. This time, Angelo Matthews helping around with squaring up. That's not the line or the length to bowl. A slow ball. Angelo Matthews very good in those strokes when it comes to the hitting positions. I just think tactically Colombo Warriors could do much better than this.
Well, stats-wise, when you look at what teams have scored in the last 5 overs, Colombo Stars, they're at the top in terms of what they average. They go at about 11-12 runs in the last 5 overs.
Mid-off is up, goes up and over. That is smart batting from Angelo Matthews, it really is.
And this time over mid-off. Mid-off was up. Looks like Alamin Hossain went for another leg cutter. And keeping his shape and going over long off is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant by the Colombo Stars captain.
Dinesh Chandimal, Angelo Matthews putting pressure on this Warriors team. Pressure on this man, Angelo Pereira. One thing as a captain, when you're playing T20 cricket, you've got to start with the end in mind. Know exactly who are the bowlers you would close the innings out with.
And that's where Bindra Fernando has been missed, who's injured.
Well, Angelo Pereira didn't look very happy there with Alamin Hossain. That was not what he wanted. Look, he still looks disappointed there, head going down. He did not want him to bowl anything up there that Angelo Matthews could hit over the top of either cover or mid-off. That wasn't how the field was set. This is now the highest score on this pitch, 147 for 5, first innings score. Beating Kandy's 146 against Colombo. That's well bowled, that's slower ball. Leg cutter.
Much better length, much better length. Doing some reps as well. The leg cutter is important. Bowl the slow ball to bowl it into the pitch. And that's exactly what Alamin Hossain did. And Dinesh Chandimal this time was going for a huge hoik over long on. Captain Angelo Pereira saying, keep it there, keep it there.
Quite go where Chandimal wanted that to go.
But he's such a good player, Dinesh Chandimal. Edition 1 of LPL, he was quite good for his team. And so too in season 2. Right of screen, an average of 50, a strike rate of 145, even superior to his first year performances.
Now, could be 2 again. Matthews is going to have to come back.
That's last season, Dinesh Chandimal open batting, and this year he was batting in the middle order. That's the biggest difference for me. End of the 18th, Stars 150 for 5.
Colombo Stars batting today has been no joke. They've been determined. 150 for 5 of 18 overs. We need more of that in the crowd, I think.
Yeah, with the restrictions, this is what we get. At the time, everything goes normal. Sure, Mary, there'll be plenty of more.
Before you played for Sri Lanka, were you in the crowd just like those supporting Sri Lanka's cricket?
I hail from this area, Darren. I don't think any match I'd missed when I was a schoolboy. And even I was attended matches as a ball boy as well. I started my career at Kittaram Cricket Academy, was just behind. So Colombo 10 have a big place in my heart.
Well, next time we come in, we're out of the bubble. You can show us around Colombo 10 Maha. Looking forward to that. What an atmosphere it is in the ground today. It really is. Slight issue for Shiraz there. It's his ankle, his cramp, something like that.
Maruf, you made a good point about Dinesh Chandimal and the role that he's playing for Colombo Stars this year, batting in the middle, finishing the innings, so to speak, for the Stars. Yet again, 22 from 23, and he's searching for boundaries. But it's in conditions that are a little more challenging. That's why his performances this season, you would say, special, greater than last year.
Even greater and special because of this year's season. The ball turned much than the last year's season at Hambantota. And Dinesh last year was opening the batting, was hitting it all over the park to start with. As you said, different roles, opening the batting at number 6, doing the finishers role, and leading up to this tournament wasn't in that good form. But playing for the team, playing as a finisher, whereas last year he was completely different when he came to open the batting.
Pulled away for 6. Dinesh Chandimal has been scoring quickly during this LPL. That's been a big difference, and he's hit a few maximums.
Just like the old Chandimal we know about. When he started to play first-class cricket, this is what we saw about him. Hitting in all angles. You mentioned a good point, what one dimension. He covers the entire 360 degrees. And this time, Mohammad Shiraz having a day to forget.
Things not going right for Shiraz Ahmed. Not nailing his Yorkers, paying the price for over-pitch deliveries, and then went short. Being smacked away. Everyone is jumping and dancing because the Stars, they're glittering tonight.
That's going to be a wide. Shiraz has not been at his best. He's had a good tournament, but today it's not working for him. None for 40 of 2.5 overs. These are really valuable runs for the Colombo Stars coming off Shiraz's bowling. Angelo Pereira won't be happy with the way that his seam bowlers have gone about their business today. Much better from Shiraz Ahmed. But Dinesh Chandimal just going on his merry way. He's now the leading run scorer in the LPL for this season. 260 runs, strike rate 146. He's ahead of Phil Salt, 247, TKC 220. Hussain Mendes, the other man, over 200, and Tissera 158. Strike rate just the 202.
Surely reinforcing his class as a frontline batsman for Sri Lanka. He played in that World Cup team for Sri Lanka, then he was left out for a few games, so coming into form will add to the stock of Sri Lanka's cricket.
So Matthews is running his 2s at the moment. That will please the side. I think if someone was fully fit, they would have made that a very easy 2. He's just limping between the wickets.
Evidently, he looks much more quicker than the previous games. Looks like he's recovering well. That's good news for the Stars in case if the Stars goes through playing in the playoffs in Hambantota.
final over that Shiraz will bowl tonight, an important one. And he finished strong. No! Picked up by Angelo Matthews. One bounce. That's the 50 partnership. Stars are flying at the moment, 166 for 5.
Angelo Matthews putting up a show for us. It's Dinesh Chandimal, partnership of 52 of 33 deliveries among these two senior players for Colombo Stars. 166 for 5. We spoke about 160 being the par score in a night game. It's a captain's nightmare where the bowler is spraying both the sides of the wicket. And Angelo Pereira got so much in his plate. And that's why he has used 8 bowlers. And whoever is coming has gone for runs. It looks like Al-Amin to finish off.
A set Angelo Matthews is always a difficult and worrying proposition if you're a bowler, especially at the back end of a T20 innings. Goes about his work of scoring runs with ease. Always looks like he has a lot of time on the ball.
Many.
This is good batting. Good batting. It's not there still. Having the presence of mind to use a single and get the batsman who's striking it well. Angelo Matthews. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of a length and line Al-Amin is going to go. Leg side bound is the longest boundary, maybe a shot to the body, or else a yorker towards the leg side trying to get him into the long area.
Bowled him. You miss, I hit. And crucially, it's a wicket and a dot ball.
And a 53-run partnership being broken here. Angelo Matthews, who was searching to hit this delivery out the park. Was that length that finished on the top of off. Al-Amin nails it, gets the length right, deceives Angelo Matthews, the captain of the Colombo Stars, but he's done a really good job already. He goes for 29, 167 for 6.
Sikuga Prasanna is in and immediately finding the middle of the bat, straight to mid-off. Here's the end of Angelo Matthews, again rolling his fingers across the ball. A bit early on the ball, Angelo Matthews, but he's done his job. 29 of 16 on one leg, not too bad. Oh, that's a beauty of a shot, that one. Perfect timing. Heaved away by Chandimal. Just enough. Despairing dive from Ravi Bopara.
Flies away for 6. Ravi Bopara was trying to do the impossible. Got a bit of hand onto it, but it was already over the line. This is how good Dinesh Chandimal is. Uses the pace. Was always trying to hit it behind square. And it goes all the way.
So, The Stars have 174. The Kandy Warriors' highest score this tournament, 170 against Dambulla Giants. They're going to have to play their best innings to chase this down now. And again, that's another 4 for Dinesh Chandimal. Not a good last over so far.
Not a good last few overs, got to be said. Angelo Pereira, hands on his head moment. The crowd loving it. Most of them are supporting the Stars, and Al-Amin Hussain. I just feel they lost the plot. Ball into his field. The previous ball was a quicker bouncer, time to bowl, and this time it's a slow ball bouncer, but still the line was too straight. When you have a fine leg up, 30-yard ring, you cannot bowl that line. Compares captain's nightmare. Darren, you have captained many teams.
Well, they look stunned. They still got to lift their body language and know that this game is far from over.
Same again. Can you believe it? Short, slower ball, down leg side. Exactly what Chandimal would have wanted. This time he goes on the inside of the man at short, fine leg. 6-4-4 to finish. The Stars are up to 182 for 6. That seems a big score on this pitch.
Massive score. Massive score. Last 5 overs, 64 runs. In these conditions, that's lots of runs. Stars putting to bat. Just what the doctor ordered. And Dinesh Chandimal, as he did the entire LPL this year, finishing up for the Stars. Yeah, that shows the grit. That shows the determination. Exactly what the Colombo Stars wanted as a finish.
Well, not only did they strike boundaries with regularity, 24s and 4-6s, they also didn't consume a lot of dots, just 37 dots in the innings. Maybe the ideal balance, the best we've seen from a team in this tournament, on a pitch that is not so easy for batting. But the Stars, they've done a really good job in a must-win situation. They've held their nerves. They got off to a very good start with that innings from Kusal Pereira, his 58 from 38. Then he paved the way for the likes of Dhananjaya De Silva, Dinesh Chandimal, and even Angelo Matthews chipped in with 29.
And bowling for the Kandy Warriors started off well by Vimukti picking up Ashan Priyanjan's wicket in the first over itself, and then fast bowler Shiraz Al-Amin going 15 and 13 each, just not good enough. As the overseas pro, you expect much more. Kamida Mendis had a decent day. Charith Lanka just bowled a couple of overs for 4 runs. So overall, a disappointing bowling performance by the Kandy Warriors.
The Colombo Stars have made their highest score of the tournament just when it mattered, 182 for 6. It means the Kandy Warriors need 183 to make it to the playoffs. They're going to have to bat really well. The live action coming up.
He struck him well, and Chandimal, he's in a different zone at the moment. 182 for 6. It's a big score. Amir Sohail, what about the bowlers? Plenty of them used.
Yeah, the pick, Vimukti, bowled with a lot of guile. Tossed the ball in the air, got the ball gripping on the surface, turned it miles, picked up 3 wickets, and the other bowlers struggled. But the choices made by the captain at crucial times were not that great.
Well, an early wicket fell. Ashan Priyanjan. Again, a change in the opening combination. Dhananjay De Silva came in and was streaky, but in between played some wonderful shots. The ball evading the fielders on many occasions, but he was a treat, wasn't he? Treat to watch. HD Ackerman also joins us.
Yeah, Pereira played beautifully. It was opportunity for Dhananjaya De Silva. I thought his innings was a mixed bag, Dhananjaya De Silva. He played some good shots, but then he played some streaky ones, and some of his decisions were questionable. Pereira, well, he needed some form, and he found some. He looked as though he played the situation better than most, and richly deserved his half-century.
It's been a while since Kusal Pereira struck the ball like that. De Silva went. Vimukti, as Amir mentioned, was the standout. Tom Banton, he'll regret that. Soul down the river when he needed some runs himself. Kusal. That shot brought up his half-century.
Yeah, looked very relaxed after his 50 before he found the fielder. Long hop, not the first time we saw Colombo picking up a wicket with this delivery. He bowled amazingly well. Amazingly well.
Chandimal has really been in some wonderful form. Matthews eventually made his way to the wicket off the dismissal of Chemo Paul, and together they showed their experience. And Matthews played well in his opening game back from an injury which he's still nursing. But I do think that Dinesh Chandimal has been the best player on show in this entire LPL. The way that he's played every single situation with the professionalism that he's shown.
And not that he didn't attack the situation. Every time he came out to bat, stayed very positive. He was looking for runs all the times, not necessarily fours, but he played with controlled aggression and produced quality innings in this LPL.
Kenna Lewis and Minod Banuk opening the batting. They have a mountain to climb because it's 182. It is a big score. And if they are to get anywhere near that, Kenna Lewis needs to contribute and contribute at a rate.
Well, he's not going to nudge a nurdle at Kenna Lewis. He's shown in the 2 occasions where he's managed to get some runs that he's happy to swing and miss. But when he does connect, he scores at a decent rate. And you can't help thinking that that's the way he's going to go about it here. He's been given the license to clear the boundary.
And he played well against the same opposition in the previous outing. Played the bat, hit quite a few sixes, got his team off to a good start. Same as needed.
Won't carry to the field. The first runs for the Warriors and Lewis. Jeffrey Van der Sey, leg spinner, bowls wrong, and Angelo Matthews going to him because they also recognize that you need to see the back of Lewis, and he doesn't pick the leg spin. That's what we've seen. Ball sliding on a little bit more than during the day. There was rain. Oh, he gets away with that. Sure, he didn't flick the thigh pad. I'm sure he didn't. Just runs to Bhanuka. Get Lewis on strike.
Why Sri Lanka is not opening the innings? They need a Christian start. Sri Lanka has the ability to go after the bowlers, pick up boundaries and sixes. Stranger things we have seen in this LPL.
Oh boy, oh boy. That's why you need to get him on strike. Geez, that's 200 meters for sure. Upper tier.
Muscled it. Using every muscle in his body to clear everything. Second tier. 113 meters. Wow. Humongous.
It's the length. You can't afford to get the ball up to the bat. I know they're looking for turn because there's a catcher in place, but as soon as you get the ball up to the bat, he's going to murder you. If you're going to err, you want to err on the short side to Kenna Lewis.
Right up there, Kenna Lewis. 113 meters. Can he beat that? Slightly shorter, goes past the bat, and it was also straighter.
And this is the trajectory he should be looking to ball. Slightly stuck on the cue. Was lucky, was able to keep the balance. Kenna Lewis.
Swing and a miss to end the first over. 8 for no loss. Sri Lanka not opening today, Ravi Bopara. They'll have to score a little quicker because they have a big score to chase down. Kandy Warriors missing Binura Fernando in the field. He was setting the tone for them. The two seamers who played, Ahmed Shiraz and Al-Amin Hossain, in 6 overs went for 87. Ouch. They are your main bowlers. I feel for the captain. Dushmantha Chameera is someone you can trust though, with his extra pace. Most wickets for a seamer in this LPL. A slip awaits. 4 runs. Probably that's what Minod Bhanuka's been told as well. Swing for the hills.
Oh, it's fortunate. Fine leg up in the circle. These things happen, particularly in a big run chase where the opposition feel they need to go hard in these first 6 overs.
This is not the game for the purist. This is not. Even an inside edge is a very good stroke, considered by many.
Who looks better? Who looks better? Straight to the fielder, put down. Naveen ul Haq. Geez, he did well to save his face. That was fast.
Didn't have to move an inch. But the reaction time was too small. Yeah. We could relate to that reaction from the bowler.
Use the pace, Minod Bhanuka. That was hard to catch. Deep square leg and the deep third man for Kenna Lewis. This should be interesting. This battle from the Express Chamira. Right in the block hole.
We saw Wild Rios do that in the first game. When he bowled seam up, he looked for the block hole, and then when he changed the pace, he bowled it short and into the pitch.
And the ball tailed in.
I think he just takes him by surprise. I think he's at short fine leg and he feels, well, this is just a token position really. And gets caught out.
Yorker followed by a quick bouncer. That's probably the quickest he's bowled in these slow conditions. Getting it through Chamira.
Yeah, he's rife. What happened to tough conditions? Chamira generating a lot of pace already into his first over. 4 deliveries he has bowled, and we have seen a bouncer, a good Yorker.
And a full toss, too quick for Kenna. But he's charging in, I like that. The aggression from Chamira. That's when he's good. That's when he's at his best.
Yeah, maybe what it requires from the seamers is not to overthink things. We saw the Kandy Warriors seamers trying to bowl all sorts of different deliveries, and maybe what it requires is some good old-fashioned fast bowling. Yorker or whack a few in. Maybe you surrender the odd boundary, but maybe not overthink it.
Great crowd in here. They're all into it. Supporting every shot, every wicket. 6 off for Chamira over. It's 14 for no loss. Qualifiers have been decided. December 19th it is, down in Hambantota. Jaffna Kings versus Galle Gladiators. The winner here will play the Dambulla Giants. With wings, the Colombo Stars, they had wings like the Red Bulls, and there is a bit of a heated conversation. Heated is the wrong word. Been chatting for quite a while. Mentioning the crowd, 9,800 people in here. 50% is 12,000. It's almost full, 50% allowed. That's what it is. It's really good down there. Absorbing that atmosphere, the noise. Oh, that's drop kicked. Too easy. He's just picked that up and put it over the fence.
And he didn't build that. Still went over the boundary line. Man has power. Bat rotating in his hands.
He goes again. There's no one there. There's no one in the deep. Back-to-back sixes for Kenna Lewis.
That boundary is 63 meters out there.
That shot went 63 meters and 30 centimeters. You only have to hit it over the boundary to get the maximum. He hit some big ones. He's got them off to the flyer they were looking for.
50 meters shorter than his previous 6. But he gets the same result though. Long off, long on. In the first 6 overs, just the 2 fielders allowed outside. That's just a reminder. The slip stays. Flat, long off waits, it's Banton. Oh, he's put it down. Tom Banton.
They need some luck, Kandy Warriors, in this game. To chase down a big total on this pitch of 182. And once again, took the aerial route. Placement wasn't there. That was easy. Yeah. Could judge it well. In the end, pumped it up.
That sliced. Angelo Matthews trying to get underneath it. Hangs on. Well judged. He did well to move, Matthews.
The big thing here, we know Angelo Matthews got a safe pair of hands, but was he going to be able to backpedal quick enough with that injury to his quad?
Yeah, when you're in that mood, you'll hit some and you're going to miss some. But Angelo Matthews, yes, he has an injury, but kept his eyes on the ball, backpedaled, and a good catch. 21. And Warriors 28 for 1.
Ravi Bopara is in. He'll need all that experience to guide this team home. 155 required out of 104 balls. He's at the non-strikers and at the moment. Geez, I was impressed with Angelo Matthews. He moved freely when needed.
That's in the air. Should be taken and taken. 2 and 2.
Chandimal hangs on to it. Both openers back in the hut. We got the feeling that they'll go after Van der Sep. He's held his nerve. He's kept tossing it up. This one going the other way. Vinod Bhanuka not picking it, ended up dragging it from outside off stump. The Stars celebrate as Vinod Bhanuka walks back, and the Warriors are 2 down for 28. Bhanuka made 6. very loud here in Colombo. The crowd well into it. So good to have them back. Cheers, Charita Salanka. Today in at number 4.
He doesn't need gloves. Gloves, Dinesh Chandamal. He's kept wicket in the early part of the competition, now finds himself in the outfield. A jack of all trades, and I'll tell you what, he's a master of some.
Dusmantha Chamira gets a break. It's Dhananjay De Silva. So spin from both ends. Fantastic shots. Great colors, great noise, especially when the papre bands are blaring. They know to enjoy their cricket. And everyone's pleased that cricket's back. Yeah, and mind you, the double vaccinated persons are allowed in the stadium.
Now this move has a potential. Left-hander. Charita Salanka, young at the crease. Looking for quick runs. Ball turning away. Can pose a few problems. He's off the mark.
You know, the required rate over 9. Now, Ravi Bopara has walked in for the Kandy Warriors a couple of occasions where the run rate's been around 5, 6, and he's shown the nous to be able to get his team over the line. He's going to have to show a different quality here this evening, with that required rate being at 9.
Rather than spin, just like Ashan Priyanjan, he'll use the seam and try to get it to move around, wobble around in the air. And the batting to come, there's no power. There's no Rahman power was there in the initial part of the competition. And hence, if that rate gets above 10, it's going to be a struggle. Yes, Ravi Bopara down on one knee, making a statement.
Yeah, he's the man for all the occasions. Ravi Bopara, his experience, he's got the ability to handle any situation. This innings, he needs to show hard skills, and he's willing to do that. He's looking for boundaries. Good to see.
Matthews plugs that gap straight away. Off the De Silva over, 37 for 2, the Warriors.
Great to see. Coming out to back their heroes, back their favorite players.
Two overs of power play remaining. They'll have to capitalize on it. Required rate around 9. Blowing a trumpet. Can't call it a horn.
Don't bring that whole thing again.
Sikuge Prasanna. Well, we can relate him to a hippo, isn't it? In Afrikaans, hippo is Siku. This is the first over from Van der Sey. Couple of sixes. This was the second over, actually. Banton put him down. And then Angelo Matthews took a smart catch. Van der Sey's second over it was. Minod Bhanukar towards the end of that over. So 2 wickets after conceding quite a few runs, Jeffrey Van der Sey. That's why the celebration. Siku in Afrikaans means hippo.
With you, I'm learning every day. Russell, good delivery that.
I learn lots of new things too. Enjoy my time with Roshan because he's very happy to share his knowledge.
Yeah, he's very experienced. He has dealt with so many things in his life. And the experiences teach you so much.
Prasanna didn't play yesterday, he was injured. He's back in and looking like there's nothing restricting him, which is good for the Colombo Stars. Down the ground he goes. He's hit it over. Ravi Bopara, he gets an opportunity. He's not holding back.
Just the length, and it's all a little bit full. Still takes hitting. Great cricket shot, isn't it? Just a full swing of the arms, mid-on up in the circle, straight back over the umpire's head. Bopara.
This time it'll be 4. Nicely hit, straight down the ground.
50 up. Prasanna changed the line of that occasion. But good footwork and awareness of where the gaps are. Just shutting the face of the bat at the last moment to get that placement over the head of the bowler. Excellent batting from Ravi Bopara.
At this stage, the Stars are 44 for 1. Little flatter, he's asking. No support from the umpire or his mates. It's 50 for 2 after 5.
For 2, Kandy has a mountain to climb here. 133 of 90 balls. It's not impossible, but we've seen how this surface is played. The Kandy batting has been really fired. It's revolved a lot around Ravi Bopara and to a point under around Asalanka. This pair of batsmen are together at the moment, so that's why this partnership will be absolutely vital. What's that? What's going on? He looks to be in a trance, to me, honestly. That's the only way I could describe his dance or his dance move. Here's Naveen. Naveen ul Haq. Takes a lot of pace off the ball. You'll see that regularly. He's a clever operator. Darren, you reckon that's the way to go on this surface? Pace off the ball?
Indeed. Again, it's about thinking on your feet, assessing as you go. Sometimes batsmen set themselves for slower deliveries, so you can't just use that option of taking pace off the ball. Still got to keep at the back of your mind how successful bowlers bowling pace on deliveries, full and Yorkers have worked for them in terms of wicket taking.
That's a good mix. That's a good change up. That was quicker. Just talking about pace, I think the fast bowling department of the Warriors, to me, was absolutely disappointing. I mean, the way the fields were set, the way the execution happened, I couldn't believe that some of the deliveries, particularly bowled by likes of Shiraz and Al-Amin, that no ball full toss with two fieldsmen inside the the 30-yard circle. Then that last over with the field set, the lines that were bowled, that was amazing. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I can't believe that experienced bowlers, people who have played this game, could kind of falter like that. And imagine the price the Warriors had to pay because of that.
Ravi Bopara on strike.
Nicely done. Nicely done. One bounce. Short and wide, bit of pace on the ball. He's utilizing those field restrictions quite well, Ravi Bopara.
It's good batting by Ravi Bopara. Not much was coming into the batsman. I mean, this time going back of the length with having a deep square leg and a fine leg. I had to be really, really critical. It was just a little too much towards the off-stump line. Very surprised. Ravi Bopara has been in superb form. We saw in the last over against Sivke Prasanna. A couple of strokes he scored. This time, the awareness to go over short third man.
Third man goes out, fine leg comes in. Till the line of attack will be outside the off stump. 5 on the off. Oh, he wants a single, could have been trouble.
That's a good comeback from Naveen Haq. Roshan, just on that point of fast bowlers, we've looked at quite a few throughout this tournament. The one who has most impressed me is Dushmantha Chameera and how he's adjusted from the start of the tournament to now, the back end. 12 wickets to him so far. He just has moved from bowling pace-on deliveries to changing his pace and his lengths, and there's a method now to his approach bowling in these conditions.
More here at this stage, just 3 runs behind. Got away on the onside. The single, maximize it. Well, it's a partner leading a proud brand of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's #1 exported, as we've told you, to over 65 countries, and been loved by all and sundry, and certainly loved by us in the commentary box. Achikome has been a hit, go-to, as far as we are concerned, as a snack.
Feel as well, a point coming up and dropping back to long on.
Last ball of the over. Another single, 7 runs off the over. The power play is done and dusted. The Warriors have got 57 for 2.
For 2 after 6 overs. That's the end of the power play. Bopara batting well for the Warriors, 24 of 12. Charita Lanka surprisingly coming at number 4. As far as I'm concerned, Roshan, something to speak about. And Angelo Matthews marshalling his troops, either fast bowlers, spinners in tandem.
Yeah, so far the focal point for me in this game has been, as you said, Sri Lanka batting at 4. That's a bit of a surprise. And of course the fast bowling of the Kandy Warriors, Maha. Those are the 2 points that had my eyebrows raised. Chameera's back. He's just bowled solitary over for 5 runs. Darren Ganga spoke about the way he's adapted, he's adjusted. Go on from extreme change-ups.
Had a good first over, just conceded 5 runs in his first over. Here is it here for his second.
Runs here to backward square leg off an inside edge. They'll come back for 2. Yeah, just it's done.
Yeah, I spoke about the first couple matches that Chameera played and what he did as a fast bowler. He was still trying to understand the conditions, use a lot of pace-on deliveries, yellow deliveries, below 130, very few, more above 130. And that's his first 3 matches in LPL 2021. Take a look at what the adjustment is. Many more deliveries below that 130 km/h. That's fantastic in terms of adaptation to the conditions.
Yeah, that's right. He's experimented. He clearly he's now a really matured fast bowler who knows how to handle situations. He's been under a bit of stress in some of the games, but he's recovered quickly.
I had a chat with him a few days back, Darren. He mentioned about the lengths and the lines, and mentioned against Tisara Pereira when he got hammered. He said he got a bit carried away and panicked. And this time after that, he worked out the lengths and the lines with the fast bowling coach of Ramanayaka, and they had a plan to go up to. I think that's where Dushman Chamira, the start to now, there's been a huge difference. And that's the hallmark of a good player, knowing the mistake and coming out and delivering under pressure when the team needs you. Just goes to show the mental status of this person.
Nicely driven, only a single.
Just to build on that point, you also need to apply the skills that you have. Sometimes bowling fast is not the right option in conditions. You may have that skill to bowl 140 plus, but it's not required. And that is exactly what Dushmanta Chamera has shown us. And he's able to park that aside and to do exactly what the conditions require. Take his variations out, lots of cutters, take pace off the ball. He's been very successful in terms of wicket taking for this Colombo Stars. 12 wickets so far and counting.
Oh, that was not intentional. I don't think it was. It rushed onto him. He was very lucky. That was very nearly 150. He bent his back. That went quickly.
Isn't it good to see a fast bowler bending his back and the wicketkeeper flying all over? The batsman had no clue. Crossed the seamer this time, zipping it through. And Dushmanta Chamira, #1 bowler for the Stars as well as for Sri Lanka with the white ball. He's letting it go, giving his 200% for the Stars.
Clever. He's mixing it up. That's what Darren Ganga was talking about the maturity, about how he handles situations and how the follow-up delivery was. That previous one was a near 150, and the next one, the length, the pace of the ball. I tell you, the last ball was the quickest of the season. Lairu Kumara quite capable of bowling quickly. Dushmanta Chamira has just gone over all that. Runs. They come back for a quick second. 10 runs off the over. It's 67 for 2.
Ten runs in that over. Enjoyed that. Dushman Chamira ripping it. And before the LPL started, Darren, remember Dushman Chamira just played the first test match against the West Indies. Didn't play the second test match. Got an injection done with the recurrence of an old injury in his ankle. He was rested for about 4 or 5 days. Didn't bowl. Straight away came to the LPL. Maybe that's a factor. Injection still raw. It took a little time to adjust with the pain. But being a fast bowler myself, it's very difficult to have niggling injury and a injection of the cortisone and straight away come and give you 100%. So he would have taken a little time. I mean, I didn't hear this from him, but I know for a fact he had an injection to adjust to the new pain or no pain. I don't know, but the rhythm would have gone because he hasn't bowled for about a week. Straight away to come to play a T20 game in a high pressure situation, he would have taken the two, three sessions to get into it, and those 3 sessions, unfortunately, matches in highly pressurized games in the middle.
See some off spin from Priyanjan. What I really like, I'm wanting to see is how this partnership will prosper. We've spoken about Lanka batting at #4, which is a little bit surprising. Bopara at 3 is fine, and he's just holding the innings together. How will they take it forward? That's the question. They need to bat deep. They need to get to a position where they'll be looking to launch. This is swung away on the leg side. That's 4.
Bopara has been very good on anything loose. He's been punishing.
Well, the difference between the two sides at a similar stage, just 3 runs and a wicket. So the Warriors have done a really good job in this first phase, and now in the middle phase, their run rate 9.95. So keeping this chase well in check.
Come on, Ashan.
Runs again, this time only a single.
Lalitha Lanka at number 4, Roshan, the point you brought it up. It's still trying to understand why you bring down your number 1 player who's batting so well in the LPL as well as being up to the World Cup. And having Vinod Bhargav, he's a decent batsman, but when you're having players in form, you want them to play much balls as possible. I just don't get it why. And tactically also, I don't see it.
Sensible. That's the way to go. They're making sure that they minimize those dots. They're rotating the strike. They're getting at least a single, which is the way to go. And the Warriors have so far played just 16 dots. 6 4s and 4 6s. Lalchan Rajput. That's a wide. These are useful runs. A bit of turn, but down the leg side.
Well, I hear your concern about the batting order. One thing for sure. Kandy Warriors, they haven't played the middle phase of the innings well. Average about 7.5 runs per over, and they will need a few more than that in terms of runs per over in this middle phase, because you won't want that required rate to go very high for the last 5.
50-run partnership, and those are the first runs for Bopara to the offside. Through cover, that is. But still a very big over. They got 12 off it. 29 for 2 in 8.
Isn't it lovely to see an off-spinner bowling round the wicket to a right hand, slowing things up? Speaking so much about ambidextrous coming and bowling left-arm spinners against the right-handers, right-arm off-spinner against the left-handers, not trying to turn the ball in. Whereas Ashan Priyanjan very comfortable giving some air, try to beat them in the flight as well as off the pitch. Ashan Priyanjan has been in the system for a long time, so we know the drill. Plenty of batting to come as well. Angelo Pereira, come to Mendes, Sela Gunratna. So the batsman to finish off.
Navi Bopara, very much the key here. He's very much the key. 35 of 18. He'll have to bat deep. Sri Lanka needs to support Angelo Pereira and Kamidu Mendes, and well, talking about commentators and players and spectators and all that, it all. It's so important, and here we got Mr. Maharoof in the center. It's not supposed to be spread on my face, my friend. It's on the hands. You've got to sanitize your hands. Dettol is not for the face, remember. It's the hands. So don't make that mistake. We're going to have some leg spin. Jeffrey Van der Sey, man who's got 2 wickets, both wickets in fact. Far on strike, slip in. Obviously, you could see that the plan is crystal clear here, Darren. Wickets.
Well, before the start of this over, Angelo Matthews, Dinesh Chandimal, Sikuge Prasanna had a conversation. And that's a good thing about this Colombo Stars team. There's a wealth of experience, and that adds to the decision-making that happens within this Colombo Stars team.
Straight away, he's finding something. There is some grip, and also that drop as we see.
Playing T20 cricket, when you have to make real-time decisions, it's always useful as a captain to have senior players. Ravi Bopara, he's been really good in this innings, 37 from 20. So maybe Angelo Matthews and the senior players think that they need to go with their attacking spinner, Van der Sey. Get a wicket now, break this partnership, get Bopara out, get into this batting lineup. Lots of runs straight down the ground and in the onside.
There was bounce, and Bopara could have been not stumped but run out. He was so far down the track. Completely done. Look at Bial Vijayatunga's look. The spin bowling coach. Where did it hit? Kusal Pereira. There was bounce.
Looks like it hit Kusal off the pad there. I can't call it a stumping chance, but I would say 4 runs by Kusal Pereira. And he was rolling around. It's not the first time been hit in the previous game. A couple of games ago, was hit in the knee, poor guy. Yeah, it's not easy. Out in the middle.
They got now good. Well, that's now the strategic timeout.
Feel the spark again. And
The game is nicely poised, I'll tell you. It's 102 of 69. 81 for 2. Ravi Bopara had a scare. He had a scare. He could have been stumped. He could have been run out. But, well, Kusal Pereira did well, as Fabis Maharoop said. That was a really tough one. It bounced. It went off the pad. Really nothing in it. Nothing in it. 80 for 2. 81 for 2. They need to be consistent, Kandy Warriors. That's the key. They need to continue batting. They need to bat deep.
.68 of 102 needed. I think Ravi Bopara will hold the key for sure. The batsman coming in won't be easy to settle down this tough pitch.
I think the pitch has been good in the second game. We all thought it might be tough. I think it's played through. Batsmen have enjoyed it.
In the beginning, to start with the first few balls, plenty of batting to come. Yes, Angelo Pereira was in good form in the last game. Finish off the innings as a captain is not straight away coming in. I just feel it's not the easiest to come and go bang bang. That's where the batsman who's in got to finish the job.
Ravi Bopara is known to be a finisher. He's already finished 2 games for the Kandy Warriors. This is a critical one. Last ball of the over.
How close is that? Yes. Yes, that looked out. That looked out. He's referring it, but I thought that looked plumb to me. But let's see.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision is out. I need to check the front foot first, please. Fair delivery. Give me the front on spin vision, please. Can I have the ultra to check whether any bat involved there, please? Keep it rolling through, keep it rolling through. Fat line satisfied, no bat involved. Ball tracker when it is ready, please. Waiting for ball tracking, Kirti, ball tracking is coming. Pitching in line, impact in line. Wicket sitting, you can stay with your original out decision.
Well, it was a good decision by umpire Kirti Bandara. No hesitation there. And that took plumb, and even you said called it from here.
It looked plumb. And Charita Lanka got 14. Warriors 82 for 3.
Ratna was a sensation when he came on the scene. He was very unlucky when he injured his finger in a test match at goal, and since then, that was against India, and he struggled to get back, and since then he's been out of favour. Over extra cover. I've been talking about high-class batting and high-class executions. Well, that is an example.
Well, Ravi Bopara showing why he's highly rated. Just getting enough. Sometimes you could stand and applaud for a stroke. Previous stroke against Darren Ganga, as you batsman, you will know, magnificent shot. This, Charita Lanka missing a straight one. Big single. And he's picked up 3 wickets. Yeah, Van der Sar, he's so good. If you compare him to Prasanna, he bowls from a little bit closer to the umpire. He's been a real wicket taker. The investment in this over that he bowled, paying dividends, getting the prize wicket of Charit Asalanka, breaking the partnership. Partnership that produced 54. Swept away, should be 1. I just want to engage the viewers a bit to show the subtle variation in terms of release points for the 2 leg spinners in this Colombo Stars team. Van der Sar, a little bit straight and closer to the umpire. Prasanna, wider. So although they're similar style, they bring their different variations to the fore. Prasanna extracts a fair amount of turn and bounce. Van der Sar slides on a little bit more.
Gets a single. Ratna is off the mark. So at the end of 10, at the halfway stage, Warriors, they're 90 for 3.
Ratna gets soft strike again, which will bring Ravi Bopara back on. View of the old scoreboard here at the RP Madasa Stadium from our drone. Lovely shot that. Nice to see an old traditional scoreboard in the ground, not an electronic one. And it's going to be another 2 for Ravi Bopara, who's playing really well here. This is reminding me of the old Bopara. When he burst onto the scene a few years ago, he was a number 3, number 4, exciting young talent. And over the years, he's turned himself into a finisher. Number 5, 6, 7. Doesn't often get in early in an innings anymore. But he's rolling back the years here, showing real quality. See if he can get them over the line, finish the job like he used to.
The umpires are looking for the short run. I think he's okay there. Yeah, you were talking about old-fashioned scoreboard. Now how about old-fashioned batting from Ravi Bopara? Great mix of soft skills and hard skills.
Matt, I'd like to add that all around Sri Lanka, in all the grounds, it's similar scoreboards. Yes, you do find a little electronic scoreboard, but we do have the old manual one, which gives you all the information, the numbers, the lights burning on it, indicate which batsman's batting, which bowler's bowling. It's amazing to be able to read that.
His signal short run, and he said that was a mistake. 2 runs added.
Oh, spin, big spin for Prasanna. There's still something in this pitch for the bowlers. Not going to be simple. There's still a required rate of 9.47. Going to take some effort from all the batsmen to get over the line from here. Oh, he's bowled him! Jaffa! And he gets the floss out. He loves a celebration, does Prasanna.
You bowl that trajectory and you pitch the ball up to the batsman. You are bound to pick up a wicket. You force canny a batsman like Ravi Bopara on the back foot, a bit of turn, clean him up.
Now, if anyone had any doubt that Sikuge Prasanna has an injury, that he's carrying an injury, well, that should put you at rest. But Ravi Bopara cannot believe what just happened to him. Gone for 47, it's 93 for 4.
Kandy's captain, Angelo Pereira, played a very useful cameo in his previous innings, 29 not out of 22 balls to get them over the line. And they could do with something similar or more from here, because the main man, as far as they're concerned, Ravi Bopara, is gone. And that's a serious bit of bowling.
It's the length. Should have been on the front foot. But it turned sharply, hit off stump. He was looking to open up and work it onto the leg side. He did not expect that to grip and turn.
Yeah, really bowled well. Came back into this match after his injury, still stretching his hamstring.
Same again, would you believe it? Stuck on the crease, Angelo Pereira. No, that is not the same delivery, it's a different one.
This is amazing. Excellent bowling from Prasanna, going wide of the crease, creating that angle towards the leg stump and getting the ball to turn just enough to knock back the off stump. Looks like the balance of this game has changed drastically. It's in favor of Colombo Stars. A short stay came to an end, 93 for 5.
Two wickets have fallen in the space of 3 balls. Kandy Mendes comes to the crease.
When I was last on air till the 5th over and came back in the 11th over, the Kandy Warriors were up with the rate. The required rate was around 9, but then this happened. 2 blows. And straight away the game turns on its head, and one of them was Bopara. Sikuge Prasanna, he's done away with the dab. He's on to the floss.
Well, Sikuge Prasanna, for me, definitely wins the celebrations award. He's got a few in his locker.
Mistakes. Under pressure. Chance of run out. Directed. Keeps everybody interested.
TV umpire to director, we have umpire referral for a run out. Give me the best side on angle, please. Batsman made it down. I am satisfied.
Slide in the end, saving Kandy Mendes. We saw Tom Banton get out, run out in the Stars innings. Tom Banton, who threw the stumps down there, he didn't slide in or dive in, and that was the difference between him getting run out and not. Kandy Mendes perhaps learning from his mistake.
All 5 wickets to fall against the wrist pin.
Just have a look. Back leg. Moving away from the leg stump. When you're looking to play a leg spinner, not the right technique. You're asking for trouble.
Very full delivery, really. Ours was quite full too. Is that the over that turns the game in the favour of the Stars? There's not a whole load of batting left. The main men have all gone now. We could get Prasanna moving up the list. 12 wickets for him now. He's got Samit Patel in his sights, who's 3 above him. Top 4 spinners. Shamira also has 12. Spinners have been feasting on batsmen and Wanchikome rice crackers over the last few days.
Yeah, while attention to the stumps and the LED lights. Time for a Red Bull and some Wanchikome. Take over, guys, while I finish.
Yeah, we need some energy, don't we, at this time of night? Kandy Warriors do.
Now the problem is that 2 new batsmen, they got to get used to the pace of this pitch. It is a hard pitch. You can get through a few dots and that'll result in a lot more pressure. With 1 set batsman in, then all you needed was a cameo from the other end, which could have come from anyone.
That's tossed up more by Dhananjaya to Silva. rate just keeps going up, doesn't it? 10.32 now.
Well, Angelo Matthews have too many wicket-taking options in his bowling lineup. Naveen is there with 3 overs. Priyanjan swept into the gap. Will be 4.
Did well there. He hit that ball on the head, as they say, and from high to low, got it fine. But in between the man at short, fine leg and the man sweeping on the leg side boundary. Good technique.
Yeah, very good technique. Try and hit areas where the fielders are not there. Kandy Warriors fans will be hoping Asela Gunaratne will be able to replicate that innings in Geelong. No one will ever forget against Australia. Won a game where no one gave Sri Lanka a chance. They were 80 for 7. He went on to make 88. That would do, half of that would do though. 102 for 5.
Prasanna to continue after his double strike in the previous over. 2 vital wickets as well. First of all, Ravi Bopara, man who was in and set to get him like that. Fantastic delivery. And then look at this one, almost exactly the same. Just a little bit tighter to middle stump, more middling off that one. And he shows us the floss to go with the dab. Brilliant bowling.
Single aren't going to hurt Colombo stars who are twinkling at the moment.
Brilliant bowling though. The trajectory, the drift. That drift is what's pushing the batsman leg side-ish. Let's look at what happened to Bopara. Bullish tried to play on the back foot. The drift is making them go leg side. Wide-ish towards leg stump and then straightening down, and that length is a length you should be on the front foot. So everything right about that, Army.
Now when you stand as you have a side-on stance, ball coming from that angle, it squares you up first, and then as a batsman you have nowhere to go.
They're sitting deep in the crease. We could get Prasanna slightly quicker through the air. The trajectory we could see is going up and down. You couldn't ask for anything more from your spinner to deceive a batsman. That's Gail.
And this is the area where leg spinners have improved tremendously. And they've been bowling that trajectory very consistently and pitching the ball up to the batsman. And been picking up wickets. Imran Tahir was the man who started this.
Another good over by Sikuge Prasanna. Goes for just 5. So it's 76 to win off the final 7 overs. All 5 wickets taken by leg spin. Van der Sar 3 for 25, Prasanna 2 for 20. Off spin to continue. Dhananjaya to bowl out his final over. You're right, Amir. The Stars will be more than happy with singles. You see this rate go up and up and up. Almost 11 now, required rate.
Yeah, these two batters, they need to show urgency. They have to show intent. From here on, they have to find a boundary every over to stay in the race.
Both sides have stuttered in the middle overs. Colombo Stars actually got caught up really their innings in the overs 9 to 15 and then had a brilliant last 5 overs, and the Warriors do the same. The problem is when you're chasing, the pressure is so much greater.
You called it in Colombo Stars innings. When the 9th over started, you mentioned that teams do stutter from 9th till the 15th over. Lose wicket. And it's familiar now. Once again, we saw plenty of wickets picked up by the bowlers from 9th till the 12th over. Has been the pattern.
It's an area where, or time at the game where batsmen have got caught in 2 minds. Good running, whether to keep up with the rate or consolidate and set up for the end. That little space has been enough for the spinners to be all over you like a rash.
Yeah, you know it, Russell. It's very hard once you get Cavalier to change the gear, get into a cautious mood. And on these pitches, you have to change gears. Otherwise, you're going to fall prey to the spinner.
There was a thought here that that had hit Kamindu Mendis on the pad first before it hit his bat. They're not going to send it upstairs, though. Be interesting to see the replay.
Now, with wickets falling, they're not in a position to push, and they're letting Dhananjaya De Silva get away. He's probably the bowler they need to go after to close that gap. Well, they get only 7, which is nowhere near the required rate. 114 for 5 after 14, and it'll be a timeout.
The Kandy Warriors are up against it here. They have to win this game to go through to the playoffs at the expense of the Colombo Stars. But they need 69 of the final 36 balls. However, after 14 overs, these two sides scored exactly the same amount of runs and lost the same number of wickets. But Colombo Stars had a bumper finish to their innings. 64 off the final 5. Seeing a bit of intent now. They're itching. They know they need to get a boundary in the next few balls.
Well, the Stars had Angelo Matthews and Dinesh Chandimal in, and the 4 overs from the faster bowlers towards the end wasn't too great, to be honest. Lots of full tossers and at a friendly pace. Really played into the hands of the Stars, who took off.
6 overs, no maidens, 1 for 87 between Shiraz and Alamin. Could be the difference.
He used his feet this time around, but there was no purpose. He just came out of the pitch. You target the area where the ball is going to go and just push the ball towards the fielder for a single. Too much of a risk for just 1 run.
Here's an opportunity to make a name for yourself. Coming to Mendes. Sailor Gunaratna trying to fight his way back into the frame. Injury kept him out. That's what pushed him back, and since then he's not been able to fire like he did. 67 off 34. We've seen it happen before. We've seen it here. 52 off 30, off 24, 54 off 24. And we celebrated those innings. Sikuke Prasanna and Dinesh Chandimal, they're here.
Now this is a very unforgiving format. 1 good over can change the course of the game. An over of between 15 and 20 runs will give them a hope.
No boundary for 16 balls at the moment. Required rate up to 12. Could be 2 here. Comfortable.
Good from Prasanna. Use your experience. Don't try to be too smart. That's what he's doing. Concede a single, bolt your field and try and get through your over at 6 or 7 runs. 2 balls remaining in his spell.
Yeah, he's made the difference. Removing Ravi Bopara, the prize wicket, who was playing so well, and then removed the captain as well. Yeah, he's been a contributor for his side with the bat and with the ball too.
Might push for 2 here. They do. So they've run well in the over, but it's only 8 from it. They need more than that. They need a big over. Coming up soon is 122 for 5. 5 overs to go.
Well, 61 required from 30 balls. We have a game on our hands. Someone has to rise for the Warriors if they are to do this. moment, the Colombo Stars in the driver's seat, you would think. But this is a funny old game. Alongside me, HD Ackerman with his Maruf. They're still dancing in the stands.
Friday evening fair, and the Colombo Stars supporters. A great time. This looks like Colombo Stars for the moment are well on the way. Saying that, Asela Gunaratne, known finisher for Sri Lanka and the franchise, he has played before, come with the Mendes, no mark with the bat, but just a one good over, any result is possible for me.
There would have been some nervous jitters a few overs ago though, while Bopara was playing. It looked as though that they were well on their way. But as so often happens in this great game that is T20, it just takes an event, one single event, and it turns the game on its head. Are we going to get another one in the favour of the men in orange?
Well, an event can be one ball in T20 cricket. Jeffrey Van Der Say has been to pick up the bowlers 3 for 25. He's got 6 deliveries remaining in his quota of overs. Angelo Matthews will want to use that effectively as we zoom into the last 5 overs of this innings. Remember, again, this match is going to determine the 4th team to qualify for the playoffs. Here's Naveen ul Haq.
Costa seemed to start with. Mendes happy to get the single and get Asela Gunaratne doing all the striking. Got 3 more overs. Dushmantha got 2 more overs. And Prasanna bowled out. Van Der Say got 1 more over. Possibly will be finishing off.
I know there's barely been a dot ball in this partnership, but in saying that, you still feel they need a boundary in the over, because 2 a ball is what's required at the moment.
Just 1 boundary in that partnership. Well spotted, H.D. Ackerman. They've rotated strike well. They've gotten themselves in, as they say. Now it's time to tee off. Be selective in where you hit the ball for your boundaries. For them! Castled with a slower delivery. Naveen ul Haq strikes quite early in this over.
Angelo Matthews' reaction said it all. He knew until Asela Gunaratne was there, the game was not over. Angelo Pereira, on the other hand, complete different emotions. A slower ball. Asela Gunaratne trying to go through cover point. Great change of bowling by Angelo Matthews, bringing in Naveen ul Haq. Pitches are slow. He's the man to go with all the cutters he has in his armory. Asela Gunaratne gone for 17 of 17. Warriors 1, 2, 3 for 6.
What does Vimish Vimukti have in store for us? He's got a big, thick bat in his hand. He's got to use it wisely. They need a few boundaries here to get themselves in sync with the required rate. Moving closer and closer to 13 now per over.
There were 2 men up in the 30-yard circle on the offside behind square, and fine leg was up as well. There was always going to be no pace from Naveen ul Haq.
I've always said if you're facing Naveen ul Haq, you've got to set yourself for slower deliveries, just like what you'll do if you're facing a Dwayne Bravo. Usually in a set of 6 balls, you get at least 4 with pace off.
Mukti. Put the long ball, but just that circumstance is not going to be easy. Letting him come, not much to speak about. 22 balls since the last boundary, just goes to show how well the Warriors have bowled.
You're a fan of this, DG. Mid-wicket, extra cover, backward point, all in saving one.
And he's a new batsman, so put pressure on him. Don't give him an easy single. Also underscores the importance of having power players at the back end of an innings in T20 cricket, because oftentimes you're required to keep up with a required rate of 13, 14. So to give yourself any hope, well, the batsman must be able to strike boundaries. If you can't, work on your range hitting, develop that proficiency. Squeeze through the offside. Maybe Maher could tell us if these two could hit boundaries. He was looking for two. I think that's gone. That is very, very unfortunate. Uncalled for, you would say, in the circumstances.
Yes, I am satisfied.
Well, I don't need to say more. Way short of his ground. Needlessly run out. Not helpful at all for the Warriors. Another one down. And Mukti goes for one. 124 for 7 now. The new batsman. Chindu will have Mama task in front of him. Must try, find a way to get a boundary.
I know it's loud out there. There's nearly 10,000 people that are in this ground, but it's just the communication is non-existent.
Communication gap just resulting in a run out, and we've seen a few.
Dhananjay is still new before even the umpire went upstairs.
Final delivery of the over. Produces a dot. Good over from Naveen ul Haq, just 124 for 7.
Coverage so far. Colombo Stars batting first. 182 for 6. Impressive batting display by Kusal Perera, Chandimal, Dhananjay De Silva, and Angelo Matthews. Already bowling by Alameen, Shiraz, plenty. Reply, Warriors 124 for 7. Reeling with Anderson picking up 3 wickets. Prasanna, other leg spinner, picking up 2.
"59 of just 24 deliveries. No net run rate to worry about. You don't win this one, you're gone. So you got to go out swinging.
And that's why they say 6 hitting is an asset in T20 cricket if you're a batting unit. It's 10 sixes pretty much. If you've got that capability, now is the time to put it forward. Van der Sar for his last over. He's been the standout bowler for the Stars. Oh, bounce and turn. How would you hit this out the park?
Well, the first thing you've got to do is take a bigger backswing, because playing a forward defence is not hitting this out the ground. It's a great delivery, don't get me wrong, but you need 15 to the over.
Leg spinner. And this time Van der Sar coming far ahead than Sachin the Colombo. Previous delivery was much more slower. It was fine lower. Van der Sar bowled really well.
Gone for it. Doesn't have enough. Fielder settles. And it's another one. This innings is collapsing quite quickly.
You've gone up feeling for the young man, but that's the way he needed to play. He needs to clear the boundary. His team need boundaries. It just catches the bottom part of the bat as the ball spins away. And it's a simple catch in the deep. And he's been good. He really has, Van der Sar. That's 4 for now, 4 for 25. And he can still do more damage with 3 balls remaining. Colombo goes without scoring. It's 124 for 8.
For maybe, could be, would be. 5 wickets. Career best figures for Van der Sar. And what a time to get it.
The young man went through a rough time. Came into this LPL on good form. Took 5 wickets in the Major League 50-over tournament for his club team. Won it for them, and now signed up by the Colombo Stars. Biggest stage in Sri Lankan Premier League. Last game we have had to win, producing the goods for Colombo Stars. Angelo Matthews used him pretty well. Dushman Chamira has a sharp pair of hands. This man, got the emotions. Yes, boy, you bowled well, and you are definitely the man at the moment for the Stars. Yeah, Kamida Mendes gone for 13. Warriors 124 for 9.
Oh, the hat-trick. Oh, so close. Missed the off stump by a whisker.
Hat-trick ball, a googly. The batsman going for a huge hoiko along on. Not too sure which game he was watching.
Oh, they used to be painted stumps, they're not anymore.
Is it out? Yes, confirmation by the umpire. Best figures in LPL, 6 wickets. And it's a victory for the Colombo Stars. One thing for sure, there'll be no Warriors in the Galaxy tonight. Angelo Matthews and his men, they will confine themselves to that space. And by virtue of this win, they qualify for the playoffs.
A happy dugout, the Colombo Stars, happy team in the middle, led by Angelo Matthews and that man on your screen. Wow, what a great day. 6 wickets in a T20 game. Very rarely see it, and when the team mattered the most, he comes and produces for them. Dancing in the aisle, It's a Friday evening, plenty of support for the Colombo Stars. Again, I keep saying it, when it mattered the most, Stars did it.
I'm not quite sure Angelo Matthews would have thought that it would come to the last day before he would see his side enter the playoffs. They're a side that has plenty of experience, plenty of international experience. It's taken a young man with not a lot.
Impacting the innings with the ball, leading his side. An emphatic victory in this, the 20th match of LPL Edition 2. Still very young, with a bright future ahead of him. He will cherish this moment for a long time. Angelo Matthews defying the odds, not 100% fit, but leading his charges and securing his third victory in LPL 2. And they move to third on the standings. This is how the Warriors responded to the Stars 182. There were a couple partnerships that looked threatening. 54 between Ravi Bopara and Charit Asalanka, and then Naratne and Mendes produced 30, but it was not to be.
Nice moment, thanking the crowd, Angelo Matthews and his troops. Plenty of support around Arprendas Stadium. Home team did it in style. It's winning by 58 runs and going to the playoff stages where they're playing the Dambulla Giants.
What a special moment for the Colombo Stars, winning in front of a 50% packed Arprendas Stadium here in Colombo. The Stars, well, Van der Sey was the star of the show, 6 for 25 from his 4. Rossana contributing with 2 for 27, a wicket for Naveen ul Haq, and everyone played their part. Priyanjan was a bit expensive in his solitary over, but that won't matter in the end. So a wrap of match 20. Colombo Stars sent into bat. They really played well. They had a good start by Kusal Pereira. His half century paved the way for the others. Chandimal and Danja De Silva with 40s. 3 wickets to Vimukti, but they just couldn't contain the Stars. The Warriors, in response, couldn't quite keep up with the required rate, and in the end, Colombo Stars going on to win by 58 runs. So confirmation of what that does to the standings. The Stars, they move to third, 8 points from 4 wins. The Jaffna Kings at the top will play against the Gold Gladiators in that qualifier 1. Kandy Warriors unfortunately missing out in the playoff. And it's the business end of the tournament now. A look at where things will sit in that road to the final. As mentioned, qualifier 1, the Kings will take on the Gladiators. And in the eliminator, the Stars will be up against the Giants. So we'll take a pause, and And when we come back, we'll have the post-match presentation. Madasa, where we've come to the end of the league stage, and this is how it stands. 4 spots being sealed. The Jaffna Kings, Gold Gladiators, Colombo Stars and the Dambulla Giants all qualify for the playoffs in that order. And this is how the teams will match up for that playoff. Qualifier 1, the Kings will take on the Gladiators, and then in the must-win situation, the Stars will take on the Giants. The winner of that will play the loser of qualifier 1, and then we will have the grand finale on December 23rd. Let's now join Roshan Abasinga with the post-match presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just had almost a quarter-final where the Colombo Stars, by virtue of their win of 58 runs, qualified to the eliminators, and Kandy Warriors, after they tried hard is unfortunately the team that gets eliminated from this Lanka Premier League. Hello and welcome to the post-match presentation of the Wolf 777 News Lanka Premier League 2021, powered by Fair Play News and presented by Sky247.net. As I always do, ladies and gentlemen, let me thank our partners Daraz, Red Bull, CBL Munchie, Dialogue, NLB Multilac, Emerging Media, Dettol, Tyan Steel, AIA Insurance, Sat Sports News, Vimal, Mac Tiles and Cycle Pure Agarbatti. Right, let's start off with the NLB power hitter of the match. He will receive 100,000, will be presented by Mr. Janaka Ratnakumar, Chairman of State Printing Corporation. And for his 44 of 29 deliveries, it's Dinesh Chandimal. Our next award, ladies and gentlemen, is the Soft Logic Star of the match. He will receive US 500. Will be presented by Mr. Rizvi Mohammed, CEO of Soft Logic Retail Private Limited. And for his 58 of 38, it is Kusal Pereira. And of 38, it is Kusal Pereira. Because you went through some really difficult times.
Yes, personally I went a few tough situations in life also. But like I said again, I mean, it's all God who gave me this strength and to do well. So I gave him the glory and honor.
Happy to hear that. All the best. And go and enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the news Wolf 777 news player of the match. And now let me talk to Angelo Pereira, the losing captain, Kandy Warriors. Will I be right if I say that most of the blame lies with you? Will I be right if I say that it's with your team for not being able to qualify?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Will I be right if I say that the blame lies mostly with your team for not being able to qualify?
Yes, I do agree, because execution-wise, we missed many crucial occasions. Even today, I thought we were sitting pretty until we messed it up in the last 4 overs. I think even today, we knew even when it was 180 runs, I thought we got off to a very good start. But again, in the middle, we lost 4 quick wickets, and thereon there was no way out.
Yeah, now we looked at your bowling makeup. You had spinners, you had your fast bowlers. Looking at the way your fast bowlers bowled, watching from where we were, it was a bit baffling. I mean, the way they bowled and the field, and what was the plan? I mean, why did it go wrong?
Because we always backed them, because they had last 3 games from the fast bowlers were brilliant. So we were backing them to execute against Chandi and Angie. So I don't know what happened. I think execution-wise, they were nowhere close. And I think it's a bad outing that they had.
I think that was both of them had a very poor day. Right, Angelo, bad luck. So you're the team to miss out. So very quickly, if you want to reflect on this LPL.
I think it was a good, I don't think the points table would reflect on the way we played, because majority of the games we've taken it to the last over, but we've been very unlucky as well. But also on the other hand, big thank you to Sri Lanka Cricket, IPG, the medical staff and the ground staff for this wonderful tournament, and we are really thankful for that.
Indeed. Thank you, Angelo, for the entertainment and all the best. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk to the winning captain. Congratulations, Angelo, but you left it too late till the last game to get to that eliminator.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, we had ups and downs, well, obviously, and with our performances. But the way the boys showed up today was fantastic on a tough wicket. You know, lots of wear and tear on the wicket. The way boys, you know, turned up, and the way, you know, Kusal and Dhananjay batted, I thought they, you know, took the game away from Kandy, because on a tough wicket like that, you know, that shows the class of those 2 players. It's, you know, class is permanent and form is just temporary.
Yeah, and looking at the batting order, is Angelo Matthews going to bat in the middle order and let Kusal open? Are we going to see you as the old finisher we all know?
Well, well, that's for me to know and for you to find out. But
That's
but
what I'm
let's
asking
see.
you.
Well, this was yeah, this
That's a
was
good
just
one.
a tactical decision. You know, I dropped down to the middle because obviously I just wanted the guys to go out there and play with freedom, and for me to, you know, sort of take the pressure towards the back end. But you know, it worked today.
All right, all the best. We are certainly looking forward to finding that out. All the best, Angelo.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the post-match presentation.
Thank you, Roshan Abasinga. Commiserations to the Warriors. Congratulations to the Stars. 2 mouth-watering contests in store for you in the playoffs. December 19th, Sunday, the 1st, will be the Colombo Stars up against Dambulla Giants. That coverage will start at 3:30 p.m. local time. And then the second of the 2 matches, the Kings will take on the Gaul Gladiators. And that game to start at 8 p.m. local time. The city of Colombo has embraced us. Now we move to Hambantota. We hope that you continue to join us for this wonderful tournament. It's good night and goodbye.
Singhana